Hello everyone, it's GCSE Girl here and welcome to video number 2 in our math series, and today we're learning about primes and factors. Okay guys, so now we're going to have a look at some of the meanings of what these words mean. So let's have a look at factor. Okay, so factors are the numbers that you multiply together to give the original number. So let's look at an example. So for example, let's find out the factors of 12. So question number 1, you have 1 times 12 and that will give you 12. You can have 2 times 6 and that can give you 12, and 3 times 4 and that give you 12. Alright guys, so now we are going to have a look at another meaning, and this meaning is on primes. So a prime is a number that is divisible by itself and 1. So for example, if we have, let's take the number 7. So the factors of 7 are only 1 and 7. There are no other numbers that divide exactly into 7, which means that 7 is a prime number. And also, I'm going to show you some actual prime numbers. So some prime numbers are like 2, 3, 5, 11, 17, 19, 23, and so on. Okay guys, so let's have a look at example number 1. So we are going to be trying to solve some prime factor trees today. So to help us, we are going to be writing out some prime numbers, well, the first few prime numbers, and this should help us so we can cross it off to see what prime numbers we have in our prime factor trees. Okay, so let's look at the number. So the number that we're going to do is number 24. Now, to solve a prime factor tree, we need to see what numbers can multiply into it. So we can do like 12 and 2. Now, 12 is obviously not a prime number, but 2 is, as we can see from our little prime number list. So we're going to circle that one. Okay, so let's have a look. 12 can be divided by 6 and a 2. And we're going to check, because obviously 2 is a prime number, but 6 is nowhere on our list. So that means that we're going to have to divide it again. And we are going to divide it into 3 and 2. Now, 2 is obviously a prime number, and 3 is also on our prime number list, so we're going to circle that. So we can now pop it into the equation of 2 times 2 times 2 and times 3. But obviously, we're going to start with the smallest number when you write this. Or we can also pop it into index law. And what this means is basically the numbers which you have more of, you do it to the power of. So we have more 2s, so we have 1, 2, 3 2s. So we're going to do 2 to the power of 3. And we're going to times that by just 3 because we only have 1 3. And so we're going to tick that to if we have that correct. Okay guys, so now we're going to have a look at a U try number 1. And I want you to do a prime factor tree of 80. So you're going to pause the video and solve it, and then after we'll solve it together. Okay, so I hoped you guys had paused the video and solved it, so let's solve it together. By obviously writing out the first few prime numbers, so it will help us when we do our prime factor tree. So 80 can be split into 40 and 2. And 40 is not a prime number, but 2 is, so we're going to circle that. And 40 can be split into 20 and 2. And we're going to circle the 2 because it's a prime number. And 20 is not a prime number. So we're going to divide it again. And we're going to divide it by 10 and 2. 2 is obviously a prime number, so we're going to circle that. But 10 is not, so we're going to divide it again. And we can get 5 and 2. And 2 is a prime number as well as 5, so we're going to circle that. So we're going to do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, or we can do it by index law, and when we do it we're just simplifying it down to the smallest equation possible. So we're going to do 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4 times to the power of just 5, and that's correct, so tick that if you got it correct, and well done. Alright guys, so now we're going to do example number 2, and this is going to be a more complex example to solve. So obviously, first up, we are going to be writing the prime numbers. And the prime numbers, they're just there to help us so we can see in our prime factor trees if we have any of these prime numbers. So our number is 120, and we're going to split that into 12 and 10 because 12 times 10 is 120. Now we don't have any prime numbers, so we're going to divide 10 by 5 and 2, and they are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle them. Now 12 can be divided into 6 and 2. So 2 is a prime number, but 6 is not. So we're going to divide that by 3 and 2. So obviously 3 times 2 is 6. 3 and 2 are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle those. Now we're going to do 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Or we can obviously pop it into index law, which is simplifying it down further. And it will be 2 times 1, 2, 3, 2 to the power of 3 times 3. And times that by 5, and that is the answer. Okay, so now we are going to do the U-try number 2, which is 180 into a prime factor tree. So pause the video and we'll solve it together after. Okay, so let's solve this one together. So we're going to obviously write out the first few prime numbers, and it will help us to solve this. So 180 can be split into 18 and 10. When you times them together, you get 180. They are not prime numbers, so we're going to divide the 10 and we get 5 and 2, and they are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle those. 18 can be split into 6 and 3. 3 is a prime number, but 6 is not, so we're going to simplify it down further into 2 and 3, which you times together get 6, and these are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle them. So you get 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Or you can obviously pop it into index law, which simplifies it down further. And you can get 2 to the power of 1, 2, 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 2 times 5. So well done to those who got it correct, and tick it if you got it correct. Okay, so in conclusion, prime factorization is the process of breaking down composite numbers into prime number components. Every integer is greater than 1. It's either a prime number or can be uniquely factored into the product of its prime numbers. Okay guys, and thank you for coming and watching this video today about primes and factors. So remember to follow and subscribe to YouTube. Follow me on TikTok and on Snapchat on @GCSE_girl. And happy calculating. Thank you and bye.